Hi, Stuart.
Yes.
Lately, I find myself being overly concerned about what other people think. I'm very worried before I open my mouth how I'm going to sound like, worried about being judged and stuff like that. And it seems to me that this has been going on since for a long time, but lately it's just been very um, I mean, I'm just hyper aware of it, or I don't know what's going on, but that has made me sort of wanting to grow a lot lately because I can't live like this. I feel like
Well,
in a prison.
Leo, you got the right answer. You understand? Look, people are not going to stop thinking. They're not going to stop judging. They're not going to stop having opinions about other people. People are not going to stop being negative. They're not going to stop being positive. It's just the very nature of people, mostly because most people exist in their minds, and everything in the mind is positive, negative, right, wrong, duality. And the answer to your question, you said it yourself, you have to get stronger. You have to get to a place inside yourself that it doesn't matter what anyone says. You know, your image and your desire to have a spiritual life, your desire to build your life, to grow in the moment is stronger than what anybody thinks about you and what anybody's opinion is. And I think that's a very positive way of looking at life because that external objective reality is never going to end. It's never going to end. There's always going to be somebody that has an opinion. And if you don't build a chakra system that's strong enough inside to be able to detach from all that stuff, all those opinions begin to suck your energy out of you. You're always defending yourself when there's no need to defend yourself. You're strong enough to just be, and you're strong enough to be connected with spirit, and you're strong enough inside yourself that it doesn't matter what anyone says. You also, at the same time, can listen to them because sometimes the things they point out are valid. But, being valid doesn't mean that you have to be offended by them. Oh, shit, I can do, that's good. I can fix me. That person has a good idea. That's healthy, but it doesn't diminish you. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't take your life away, your energy. You don't have to defend yourself. You say, oh, wow, that's a good idea. Maybe I can try that, fix that thing inside myself. That person was sent to me to show me something about me. Now, all of this takes place when you're no longer reaching out to the objective world for the energy to live. You don't need the objective world's approval to live your life. You're connected to higher energy in the universe, that energy of God, whatever you want to call it. It's infinite in the universe. It's the most powerful energy that exists. You're connected to that. That's nurturing you, it's nourishing you, and you don't need the approval of the objective world to live your life. At the same time, you live your life with an open heart. So what comes out of you is kindness, love, compassion for other people. Even if they have opinions about you, you can have compassion for them. Because people that generally walk around with a lot of opinions are extremely insecure people that are just covering it up with their opinions. So I hope you really understand that because it affects all of us. You think after all these years I've been doing it, people don't have opinions about me? They have many opinions about me. And I listen to them. I'm not offended by them. I listen and I learn. And if it's something I need for my life, then I use it. I say thank you. If it doesn't work and it doesn't help me, I say, okay, moving on. Next opinion, that life brings. But none of it, understand, should belittle a person. You only get belittled, you only feel smaller if you are smaller inside yourself. And that all depends upon you building that kind of inner life. Anyone connected with spirit, I mean, look at oh my God, the whole Christian religion was founded on somebody having been crucified. And his final words is, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. I mean, that's the most extraordinary thing I ever read, you know?
Yeah, that's beautiful, Stuart. It's just, yeah, I'm definitely, I feel very afraid lately, and a little bit kind of shameful that I'm that dependent on the world to give me the allowance to sort of be. I'm constantly sort of doing
Yeah,
it.
but look, Leo, be grateful to all of that stuff. It is showing you a very important thing. You know what that is? That you have to grow in your life. And we all need that reminder and the objective world plays that role for us. It is showing us constantly that we need to grow in life. So instead of being upset at it, be grateful to those people. They are showing you're getting upset because something in you needs to really get stronger. You have a meditation practice here that can build that strength inside you.
Yeah, I'm actually upset about me, not the world around. It's kind of like I am sort of doing all this dancing around and not allowing myself to sort of, uh,
All
I'm
right.
for permission for everything, sort of.
So
And
let's take it to the next level. You're upset at you because you need to learn to work deeper on yourself, to build the strength where none of that stuff will ever bother you. And it becomes tools that will teach you about yourself that you need to learn. It's great. What you just said is something very positive, Leo. It really is, because we all need to get to a place like that where we recognize that it's not the external world, it's us. It's us. And we can't change the external world, but we can change ourselves. And very often, by changing ourselves, we see the world differently. And it becomes a kind of different reality that we interact with. So now it's taking the next step, which is doing what has been made clear to you that you have to do. And that'll take you to a totally new level in your life. I mean it. It'll open up creative things in you that you didn't even know existed there. Just doing that.
yeah, thank you, Stuart. I hope I will build that capacity, because I'm sort of come to a point where I can't live my life like this, sort of a thing.
I lived through this, Leo. I lived through it. Trust me, trust me. I'll tell you a story. When I was living in Texas, I was running an ashram in Texas. And the ashram was really a pretty remarkable place. We were building things and businesses and contributing enormously to the community, enormously to the community. I mean, we even, they used to have every year the Miss Denton contest. And this was a very important, as Bob Singh can testify, this was a very important thing in that because two Miss Dentons won Miss America. So this was like a major day of the year. And the Chamber of Commerce of the town calls me up and says, Stuart, would the ashram be willing to sponsor the Ms. Denton contest? I mean, I started to laugh. You know, this is a very strongly conservative Christian town asking a bunch of people practicing Hindu Buddhist meditation to sponsor the Ms. Denton contest. I'll never forget that. So I said, yeah, we'll do it. And we did it. And it was very successful. We had parades, we had craft fairs, we had fashion shows, everything. It was really a kind of a very fun weekend. Anyway, a couple of weeks after that, maybe a month after that, I get a phone call from a woman I knew, who's a kind of friend of mine. And she said to me, Stuart, she said, I don't understand this. I know you and the people at the ashram, how hard you work and how much you've contributed to this community. I don't understand why the head of the Baptist church stood up and said the devil lives in the ashram. I said, holy shit. I began to have visions of the Ku Klux Klan coming and burning crosses on the lawn of this place that I was running there. And I remember Rudy saying to me, if you want an answer, it's always directly in front of your nose. Just look. And directly in front of my nose, across the street from where I was a flower shop. So I went to the flower shop. I bought about $100 worth of flowers, which today was probably $1,000, in the money. And I sent it to the head of the Baptist church with a letter, long letter, explaining to him how many hundreds of young people we got off of drugs, the work we do in prisons, the work we do in hospitals and universities, the work, and we run honest businesses that contribute to the community. And it was one of the most horrible months of my life. I'll never forget it. I was afraid that they were going to come burn our house down. About a month later, I get a letter from the head of the Baptist church. And I also, in that letter, invited him, if you really want to find out what goes on here, you have a standing invitation to come to dinner at our house. I sent him a letter like this. A month later, I get a letter from the head of the Baptist church apologizing to me. It's really true, apologizing. I didn't really know what went on. I did some investigation and I found out the remarkable things that you people at the ashram contribute to the community. I mean, it brought tears in my eyes. It made me understand Gandhi politics. But it was only through the training I got from Rudy and running that place in Texas that I built the strength not to be intimidated by somebody else's opinion of what I was doing there and to send him a real letter about what is going on and inviting him to come to dinner at our house. I mean, that was pretty wild story, but it's a true story. And then they kept inviting me, all the churches in town kept inviting me to give lectures on Sunday. It's true. I was in the Methodist church, the Lutheran, they all kept inviting me to give talks about meditation, to their group on Sundays. And it was like suddenly it became a kind of peace in the valley. That comes out of inner growth and it comes out of the development of a strength inside that is connected to God and understands truly, how you are as a human being, what you're contributing to the world.
That's a beautiful story, Stuart.
That's a
Thanks.
true story. And I actually am, and I'm telling you, it's like Gandhi politics of love. And I realized how right Gandhi was, that it works. Wish they would do that in the Middle East. There would be peace there. People go about their lives without worrying about who's going to bomb them next.
That's extraordinary. Incredible.
Yeah, it was. It certainly taught me a lot. you know.
Did he come to visit you for dinner?
No, he never came, but that was all right. That letter, it really brought tears to my eyes, that letter. And it showed me how much I had grown in my life, that I was able to handle the situation that way. Then we used to have the Mormons. They would do tours of the ashram. Show. I mean, it became really something unbelievable. There's a big Mormon community there, and they used to. I knew there named Joe Barnes. He used to call me up. Can I bring people, the young people from our community, and show them the ashram, and show them the way you all live and how you contribute to the community? It's very touching, you know. Does anyone else have a question they would like to? Okay, if there are no questions, no more questions, there'll be meditation tomorrow evening and Thursday evening. And there won't be class this weekend, Sunday, because we're having a retreat here. It's kind of, well, it's not full up anymore. People have uh, told me that they can't make it. But if you're interested in attending one of these retreats, there's going to be another one in October. And you can get in touch with Jennifer or myself. We can give you the particulars. Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.